Hey everybody's KBR Sports, the best sports talk show of your 24-hour day. I'm your host, Brendan Abbott, and my two co-hosts, Rashad Pennell to my left and Khalid Lewis to my right. We're coming to you on WODU Studios, the best in college radio. How y'all doing this morning, guys? How you guys feeling after this weekend?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, it's the same as always. Tired from work,
Son, change it up,
but
man.
so let's change it up. Let's change it up. I actually got to work, right? Got some studying done. Normally I just be just there at the desk. Got some work done. Feeling good. Got some tests today. Then got a game tonight. It gonna check us out. But I'm good. Let's talk to sports though. How about you, Brendan? Before we go to sports.
I'm good. I mean, yeah, I was struggling to put my contacts in this morning. Yeah, man, it was rough.
I see you got the glasses on. I see you conceded.
Yeah, man, I gave it up. I gave it up. I couldn't get the contacts in, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna go through this trouble. This is too much. It was too much for my life. I was like, this isn't the lifestyle that I live. But yeah, like Rashad said, man, let's talk this sports because whether I got contacts in or not, it doesn't affect how my mouth talks. So
Or do it.
no. But guys, the topics we're gonna be talking about today is gonna consist of Anthony Davis's 59-point eruption. I mean, the man balled out yesterday. The man had 59 points and 20 rebounds. Like he showed what people were seeing from him last year and what they were saying that he was he was going to be a top three player going into this year. It just hasn't worked out that way for the Pelicans. So we'll get into that. Then we'll also talk about the Barry Bonds Hall of Fame bid and talking about how his standing with trying to make the Hall of Fame. We'll talk about how does he deserve to be in? Because over the past few days, he's had remarks about that, about how he's felt about himself being excluded from the Hall of Fame. And then we'll also get into the Thunder and the Cavaliers game, which the Cavaliers gave the Thunder the work at home. It's the first time Thunder have lost two in such a big fashion in consecutive games at home. So we'll get into that, and then we'll also finally round it off with talking about Golden State losing over the weekend and then bouncing back against the Clippers, but do we see some vulnerability in the loss to the Portland Trailblazers on Friday night? Do we see some holes that maybe can be exploited in the future? We'll get into that. But for promo purposes, we're talking. Don't forget, guys, next week or this week actually, this week Thursday. Don't forget about the event going on at Work Release. Partnering with WODU Studios. It's going to be a big event there. Starts at 9 p.m. Guys, make sure you guys come out, show your support, and have some fun, and it'll be a good time, good night. But yeah, so now we're getting get into the sports side. Does anybody else want to add anything before I get into it?
Now we good. Let's get into it.
Okay, so Anthony Davis, man, 59 points. He was 100% from three. I mean, he took two, but I mean, hey, he's a big man. He hit 2 threes. Hey, he was balling. He was 9 of 10 from the free throw line. The man shot 70% on the game. Hey, he was 24 of 34. It was wild. Like he had a block. He had 20 rebounds, 59 points in 43 minutes. And the last time this has been done was when Shaquille O'Neal did it back so long ago with the Lakers. So you see how rare that something like this has been done. And then, I mean, the only guy to really do it on a consistent basis really was Wilt Chamberlain. And you see the names that
you just mentioned.
Yeah, the name I just mentioned. So, guys, what did you guys think about Anthony Davis' 59-point game? I mean, you look at this season. The season hasn't been the best for the Pelicans. I mean, they're 22 and 33. They've fallen off incredibly from how they were last season. Because last season they finished the season with 45 wins and 37 losses, and they were in the playoffs. Right now, they're 10th in the Western Conference, and while they're only they're about 6 games back or so of Houston, who's in the 8th spot right now. The season hasn't been the best for the Pelicans. They played below their ceiling, which a lot of people had them improving this season, especially Anthony Davis. And I mean, he's averaging 24.3 points, averaging 10 rebounds. He's 7th in scoring. He's 10th in rebounding. He's one of the top player efficiency ratings. He's about 25.5, and yet the team hasn't manifested into wins. So, guys, what do you guys think about the 59-point explosion from Anthony Davis and just this season for the Pelicans in general? Rashad, what's off with you? What do you think?
It won't 60 though.
Chill out.
It won't 60 though.
I feel you.
But nah, when you watch what he scored in this game, it was remarkable. It was, for a big man, he looked like a small forward out there.
And some of them shots he was taking.
Yes, like some of those shots was like I'm saying, small forwards are really hitting those and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a 7-footer who's doing it like this, like it's nothing. But 59-20, not many people is basically I'm not gonna say a stat of his own because it's been done before, but it's not nothing we see often. It's not nothing we've seen in what was it, 30 years, 40 years?
Well, I mean, we saw it with Shaq. Like,
Shaq.
when he was on the Lakers, but
other than Shaq,
it was Wilt. So it's been a minute.
So a 59-20 game is incredible. But as we talk about the team has still been struggling. It's not been the team that we thought was going to see. Like we saw like an improving team from last year.
Mm.
But that comes with he doesn't have help. Like we said at the very beginning of the school semester when we start talking about them, how we was talking about everybody's talking about who was our potential MVP candidate. Everybody was like people saying Anthony Davis and stuff. But then Brendan, you made the point that he's getting double, triple teamed every play.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he has no help. So I mean, you're gonna continue doing that. But see, the way he avoided that is by spreading the floor out, shooting a lot of jump shots, a lot of step backs, a lot of 3-pointers, a lot of 3-pointers for a big man.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do that, you can't get double, triple team right there. But he needs more help. But as for performance was excellent. I don't see like he right now. That's the franchise record high. It's the NBA season high, and it's his own career high. So he said 3 in one game.
Yeah.
So for Anthony Davis, it's a good milestone. For his team, it's still not anything because his team's still not gonna make it far, if even make it to the playoffs at all. Team's struggling. Team's always gonna be struggling the rest of the season. Team needs some help for Anthony Davis, or Anthony Davis out of there.
All right, Khaled, what do you think?
I think it's a good testament to Anthony Davis' skill. The fact that he's an all-around player like that he can shoot like that he can play great defense, and like he's just an overall great player. The sad thing is that he's at a team where there's like no one to really help him carry that weight. So he, like Rashad was saying, he basically has no help. And when you have to drop 59 points, basically more than half of the points that you scored, and Drew Holiday, I think he scored 20 points or so, and there's 32 points left over to distribute throughout the whole rest of the team. It's kind of just bad. The fact that they
only won by 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then like Drew Holiday and Anthony Davis scored basically 70% of the points. You can't have two players doing all that by themselves. That's why I feel like Anthony Davis either needs some help or he needs to find another team to go to, because I really like to see that man prosper and like really be successful. But the fact that the Pelicans really don't have anybody around him to help him carry the team is just, it kind of hinders him.
Well, see, here's the thing, because I mean he signed that long-term deal, so he's gonna be a Pelican for a good while now, unless he's traded. But the dynamic for Anthony Davis, I mean, even when he scores so many points, because it's been weird, because I don't know what is wrong with this team, sort of, because I mean Alvin Gentry came here in the offseason after the Warriors, because he was one of the Warriors' assistant coaches. And then he came and tried to implement what the Warriors did for the Pelicans. But it's been weird because it just hasn't manifested into the same. I mean, you got different quality of players, definitely. But you look at it and you see that they try to move the ball like the Warriors, but they just don't have the talent or so to do so, because they don't have the people to spread the floor. I mean, Ryan Anderson spreads the floor. Tyreke Evans doesn't exactly spread the floor. Drew Holiday kind of does, and Eric Gordon can shoot, but they're streaky shooters. That's the only problem. They're streaky shooters, so they're not able to move the ball like a Golden State can. And then also injuries has affected them as well, which is unfortunate, because you look at this Pelicans team, they have such a high ceiling. But Khaled, to a point, you said you don't think a two-player tandem can score 70% of the team's points, but Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant do it a lot. So do you think that, I mean, if Anthony Davis can continue to play at a high level, I mean, not 59 points every night level, but, maybe at a high level of, say, about 28 points, somebody else can chip in with about 28 or so, that's 56 points. Then if you think that he needs like another star, what do you think it is that the Pelicans need?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think they might need either another star or somebody who's an efficient shooter or an efficient scorer, like nonetheless. Because 56 points, yeah, that's good and all, but then if y'all playing to like 100-point game, you're still looking for 44 points from the rest of the team. And seeing in this game, the rest of the team only put up 32 points.
Yeah.
So it's definitely need somebody else who can like take 15 or 20 points, for themselves.
Yeah. What do you think, Rashad? What do you think that the Pelicans need that they? But I mean, because guys, think about this. This team was in the playoffs last season.
Yeah, it was. But I think about it. It was that one game win into the playoffs. It wasn't
But think about how much of a deep a slide they regressed at this point.
They have. I agree. There's been a big slide in this team. That's like they went from a playoff team to a team that's now leaking like a top draft pick.
Yeah, because they're gonna be in the lottery now, and you think about it, they have 22 wins on this season. Last season they finished with 45 wins. And I mean, there's only about what 20 or 30 more games left in the season. So I mean, I doubt they're gonna go 20 and something like 10 or something like that and finish with, or like they're not gonna finish
just late in the season
45 and 37
unless Anthony Davis averaged 60 a game. Hey,
I mean, that's the only way.
I mean
that's a lot.
But when you say star, do you talk about like an all-star or like a box mega star type player?
I think you need an all-star.
So you think you need kind of like a good solid role player type all-star. So kind of like a Paul Gasol when Kobe needed somebody type of player, or do you need somebody like another Kobe or something like?
He doesn't need a Kobe. It's weird. He just needs somebody that can at least average 20, at least 20 and above every night. 22 and above every night, because that's at least that's above league average. I mean, about 10 points is about the league average. 10, 15 points is about the league average. So you get somebody that can put in a good 22 points on a consistent basis. Everybody thought Eric Gordon was going to be that guy, and then Eric Gordon fizzled out because injuries and everything. But yeah, he just needs somebody that can help him put the ball in the basket, because he has Tyreek, he has Drew, he has Ryan Anderson. Ryan Anderson spaces the floor especially. You got Omer Sheik coming off the bench, and then it's like they.
When you say them on their paper, they look like a really good team. But then these players have that killer instinct type thing that score the basket like that.
That's the thing. I don't even know what player would come in. Like what player would be a good player to come in and help them, but that can make an impact right away. If he came in and help,
they need a scoring point guard.
You said scoring.
They need a scoring point guard that can constantly run the pick and roll with Anthony Davis. That's what they need more. Instead of someone else who would just spread the floor with him, the point guard position would be a strong, solid scoring point guard would be the best position that the Pelicans could use.
They wouldn't have to triple team Anthony Davis anymore.
Well, I mean, that depends, because it depends what kind of guard you get. You know what I'm saying? You got because you got a Rondo who can score up close, and who can run the pick and roll and great assist game from there. But at the same time, you're going to sack off him if they don't run pick and roll. You're going to sack off Rondo because Rondo can't shoot, and that's still going to leave the double teams, triple teams coming on Anthony Davis there, because then now Rondo can't shoot, so now you limit an option already. You limit an option right there, and then you have everybody else who you hope hits it. You have Ryan Anderson, you hope he hits it. You have Tyreek Evans, you hope he hits it. You have Drew Holiday, who hopes he hits it. None of these are lockdown shooters. But if you bring in Rondo's a good attacking guard, but you still get double triple team with that. That's kind of how I feel about it. But I feel like they do you need someone that can put the hole in the basket, that can attack the basket and can shoot.
Yeah, that's when you need efficient.
So you think Rondo's the answer?
I think Rondo? No, I don't think Rondo's the answer. They need a guard who can score kind of like Rondo can inside on a pick and roll play. But they also need it. Which you're not gonna find that many of those. That's not perimeter superstars in the league already.
The only problem is Rondo doesn't average over more than 11 points a game.
But if you think about back when he played, he declined big time. But if you think about when he with the Boston Celtics, when you actually
But that Boston crew was nice though.
They were nice. I mean, you had to watch it for everybody. But that pick and roll, him and Kevin Garnett, even though it wasn't often, was dangerous.
Because the thing that made that Boston team leak though is that once if you run a pick and roll with KG or Kendrick Perkins, whoever else, even if you run it with Kendrick Perkins,
you got to watch out for all three of them.
Kevin Garnett can shoot the mid-range jumper. Paul Pierce can shoot the 3 mid-range jumper. Ray Allen can shoot from anywhere. So there's this spacing all around the court. Whereas the Pelicans don't have that kind of space. I mean, apart from Anthony Davis himself who can shoot, Ryan Anderson could shoot. Drew Holiday streaky, Tyreek Evans is streaky, and Eric Gordon is probably the best shooter of the three, maybe.
But he's declined too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He's streaky too. So it's like, what's the answer for them? Like, I can't even think of a point guard off the top of my head that can come in and give you 20. That's why I said
the only one I can think of right now is probably Reggie Jackson, but Reggie Jackson is like stuck in Detroit.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's locked up in Detroit. It's so hard because do y'all think they need a floor general? Because I mean, there have been teams that I've seen. I mean, like the old day Lakers, they won with Kobe and Pau Gasol, and they just needed a consistent. Derek Fisher didn't have to do much except for be able to shoot. So all you needed was a guy that could put the ball in the basket like a Kobe, and a Pau Gasol that could run the pick and roll effectively and was a great passer, just like Anthony Davis can be.
So if we bring in that Kobe type player, the shooting guard, small forward type player, do you trust Drew Holiday and Tyreek Evans to continue like ball heavy to point guard position?
Well,
because I think that doesn't help them.
I think that would levy up. That would free up how much they have the ball, because I think they'd become it. Cause I don't think those guys are even true point guards. They're not true point guards. They're more sort of scoring guards. That's why
they can't score.
Yeah, well, hey man, let's not fake on Drew Holiday. My man,
Drew Holiday, he's decent. He just dropped. I mean, he just dropped 20.
My man was a former six man of the year. You know that means you're the best player there is.
That means he's on the bench.
Yeah,
you put him in a starting role, and he's like, "Oh no, I ain't playing bench players no more."
Enough to be in the starting role.
I'm just saying, man, he's the best bench player there was of the season.
Yeah, you're right.
And there's other guys like Jamal Crawford, J.R. Smith,
that's true.
James Harden. I think at the year he won it, that was coming off the bench too. So he did his thing, but it's something that we just can't answer, I guess, because I can't. The only other guy that I can't even think that will be out of his contract relatively soon is Joe Johnson.
You don't want him.
Yeah, and he's just so much money, man. Or he was. He won't be worth that much money anymore. But he's getting up there in age. So
this is what the Pelicans is. They're a incomplete team. Like you have a team that what do you really need help with? But at the time you're like, we need help everywhere. You see what I'm saying? It's like you got to bring in you got to remodel this whole team, or you just got to tough it out, kind of like.
This man said, just change up the whole regime.
Like, because there's basically a complete, they're a complete team that just can't win games. So what's going to fix it? Like we said, we can't even name players right now that's going to fix that team. Because you have the players in the spot, but like, are they good enough for that spot? Because you don't have enough money to replace everybody.
You don't.
Yeah, they're not good enough, or they're taking.
So it's like
you don't have the money.
They're like one of those teams that constantly finish right in the middle, to get the bad draft picks.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they are. They're that team, but not in draft picks. That's how their team looks like.
I think they're like kind of stuck with who they got.
Something like that, yeah.
I look at Tyreek Evans' numbers. Tyreek averages 15 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists.
But where's it at?
Shooting 38% from three. Averages 3 turnovers a game. Shoots 43% from the field. I mean, I don't know how Alvin Gentry is running the team. You know what I mean? Because the change in coaching can affect it too, I believe. But I can get what Rashad is saying, because you can look at a team like this and you be like it's kind of like when you look at the Thunder. You're like, what else did the Thunder need? Because I mean, you got Kevin Durant, you got Russell Westbrook. You got like Serge Ibaka who can spread the floor. You got Enes Kanter now, he can score in the post. And so it's like, what else do you need?
Notice we didn't name Deion Waiters though.
Huh?
Notice we didn't even name Deion Waiters though.
Because I mean, Deion Waiters, he's solid. He's solid. I mean, they're both. I mean,
players like that, man.
And Enes Kanter are both solid, but it's like, I mean, Deion Waiters helps them, but I mean, he gives them scoring off the bench. I would say when Andre Roberson is healthy. Yeah, and they do need that scoring off the bench. But it's like one of those things is just like, you look at them, you're wondering, man, what else? I mean, of course, everybody's always saying you could add another like superstar or star, but it's not always that easy. So it's like, what can you add that makes your team better? Because sometimes the cap doesn't work out that way. Sometimes superstar players won't mesh as well as everybody thinks they will. You know what I mean? So just forcing stars to play with each other.
Stars on the team, and then Russell Westbrook being as competitive as he is, and then Kevin Durant. Everybody's just gonna want the ball, want that shine. Like I'm gonna get to the game, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Oklahoma City game.
Oh, okay, but yeah, like you see a team like that, and you're like, man, how do you because I'm even looking at all they have the Pelicans have guys. Drew Holiday averages 15. Tyreek Evans averaged 15. Eric Gordon averages 14. You see all these guys average about 15, 14 points, and that's solid. But now
solid.
you need one more guy that can put up 20. It's one more guy to put up 20. Because think about it. Every team that's at least in the championship contention has a guy that either averages near 30 and then has a second guy that averages near 20. Or they have multiple guys after that 30-point guy that average around the 20-point area. Or they play excellent defense. Like Golden State, Steph averages near 30. Then you have Clay who averages about 20. And then after that, Draymond Green averages about like 14 points. But then they have so much scoring off the bench in all these different areas that it supplements them to having high scoring offense. And they hit so many threes. It's just like you just confused. And they play great. Defense is a key to it too. If you can limit a team on defense, then you get away with a lot more stuff on offense, and which is what the Warriors are able to do. The Spurs, Kawhi Leonard is the only guy that is scoring in the 20s for the most part. LaMarcus Aldridge is practically almost at 20. So you look at that situation, they're the number one defensive team. Cleveland, LeBron's averaging 25. Kyrie Irving or Kevin Love is averaging about 16 and 10. Kyrie Irving is averaging about 18 points. So you look at that situation, you're just like, well, these guys, all these teams have another guy that is about at 20 points that can give you 20 to 30 points on the night. Only reason why Kyrie Irving's averages are even near 20 points or even lower, below 20s, because of the fact that he was hurt at the beginning of the season. His averages were lower because of him being hurt in those first few games where he was rusty. So that's pretty much, I guess, how we feel about the Pelicans. So I kind of wonder how they're gonna finish out the season, kind of thing, because I mean they started off so.
Who do you get in the draft though? Like if you're the Pelicans,
who knows, man?
It's all about what pick you get. You're in a bad spot.
The Pelicans need somebody that can put the ball in the basket, man. That's what they need. They need somebody to put the ball in the basket. The thing is, it's weird because they have so many guards. I don't know, but we gotta move on to the Pelicans. Going on, guys. Going on. Talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Whenever you talk about these two teams, you can't help but mention Kevin Durant and LeBron James. And LeBron James, and even though you consider a little bit of a rivalry kind of thing, is it really because LeBron's run like the 12 of the last 15 meetings? So I mean, it shows that it's really shifted in his favor. But the Cavaliers have won the game 115-92. LeBron finished with 25 points, 11 assists, and 7 rebounds. Kyrie Irving left in the second quarter due to illness. He felt sick, so he left. He went 1 of 5 from the floor. Kevin Love had a monstrous game. I mean, the man had 29 points, 11 rebounds. He was 9 of 18 from the field and 11 of 12 from the free throw line. So he was being aggressive. And then I mean they got good bench contribution for Timothy Mozgov of 11, Richard Jefferson with 15.
Yeah, get J.R. Smith is 15 too.
He started though.
Yeah.
But and then for the Thunder, Russell Westbrook had 20 points, 11 assists, and 9 rebounds. 1 rebound shy of a triple double. And then Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant did what Kevin Durant does. He was 10 of 21, 26 points, and 5 rebounds. And Serge Ibaka had 12 points. He was 6 of 14. See, the Thunder where they lacked in this game is that their bench didn't do anything really. The highest scorer off the bench was Cameron Payne with 6 points.
That's crazy.
And his Cantor went 2 of 5 for 5 points. So guys, what did you think? What did you guys think about this Thunder and Cavaliers game? I mean, is this something that like we're starting to see now that the Cavaliers are becoming more of a threat to the Warriors kind of thing? Because now under Tyronn Lue, you see they played better against the top talent in both conferences. Against Toronto, they played better. Against the Thunder, they played better. So what do you guys think about this game and what it means for Cleveland? Khalid, start us off. What do you think?
I do think they've been coached well. Coached so much better than they were before. At least they're more what's the word I'm looking for? They're more stable. They're not all over the place like they were in that Warriors game where Kevin Love was just lost. But they're a little bit more stable. They look more concrete. So I think the downfall in this game wasn't the skill of Cleveland, but like some of the shortcomings of Oklahoma City. Like you said, the highest scorer on the bench had 6 points in Cameron Payne, and it's sad because they only had 3 players to score more than 10 points. and you have a bench that can't even provide you with at least efficient scoring like that, then when the starters is out, the ones that primarily get all your points, you're gonna be very hurt with a defensive team like Cleveland because they can force those turnovers and capitalize off of those points. And at least on their bench, they had a couple of scores, had a couple of people over 10 points. So I do think that Oklahoma City needs to fix their bench one, because you can't have Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant playing a very long time, because they're gonna get tired and they're gonna start looking sloppy, and you can't just have it just on their shoulders the whole time.
All right, Rashad, what do you think?
I don't know if it's the Cleveland Cavaliers that's playing. Well, they are playing better. They're running. They're getting up and down the floor a lot faster now. A lot more running than they were. Because you got to prepare for a team like Golden State. But I don't know if it's really the Cavs we can talk about, or is it the Thunder? Because again, the Thunder, when it comes down to the end of the game, it goes back to the same thing they always do. Between it's either Kevin Durant or Russell Westbrook. Mm-hmm. So that's something that doesn't get fixed. It didn't get fixed with Donovan. It wasn't fixed with Brooks. So what is the problem here? Like, what's the problem with this team actually? So as you see, when they play top teams, when it starts getting closer to the game where, like, all right, the game's close, well, starts off close. Let's say start off close, because the Cavaliers ran away with it towards the end.
29.
So it was close for a good while. And then they started doing the isolation ball. And then that's what happens. You get runs at the Cavaliers, easy dunks, LeBron, bad passes. I remember that fast. I don't know if y'all remember that fast break. Just a bunch of bad plays in there for the Thunder's aspect.
The funny thing is, like, the whole tide of the game changed after Russell Westbrook made that dunk. It like kind of shifted in Cleveland's favor.
Why you say that?
After that dunk, because they went 29 of 11 after that, like in the third quarter.
So you saying Westbrook's dunk gave them momentum?
No. I just say it's kind of weird that the dunk, like after that dunk, that they just went off after that.
Because if you said how that play, if you watch that play, how it happened, that ball didn't move from Westbrook's hands.
I know,
and that's how the whole game went. After that, it didn't move from nobody's. It was one pass, and then that person get the ball, do something. So I think it's more so the Thunder needs help. The Thunder needs to figure out what's going on with them, because right now, as like I said, they're probably one of the best bets for Golden State. But if they keep playing like they do, they have no chance. The Cavaliers are actually playing a lot better under Tyronn Lue. I do give that. I still don't agree with the David Black firing, but it's been passed now. But they're playing a lot better. They're getting up and down the floor more. They're moving better. Kevin Love's actually more so you be able to spread the floor out and actually hit his shots now. He's playing a lot better than he was. Kyrie Irving is being productive. LeBron James is being LeBron James. So if the team continue what they're doing, Matthew Dellavedova is actually playing well too. So I think it's more, but regarding this game, I think it's more of the Thunder that need more attention than the Cavaliers do.
Okay. So I saw a funny stat that under Tyronn Lue, they're averaging 7 more points a game. The Cavaliers are. So I feel as though Tyronn Lue definitely does have them playing better. And I think one of the most notable changes that he's had them do is they're actually forcing the ball to Kevin Love in his spots. He's not just a spot-up shooter anymore. He's getting, like, they couldn't yesterday. OKC couldn't guard him. They kept switching the pick and rolls, and they kept switching Kevin Durant onto him. And Kevin Durant is too small to guard Kevin Love. And it's not a thing about height. He's just not bulky enough. So Kevin Love can legit back him under the basket and then just throw a layup up or get fouled. And Kevin Durant is not big enough to guard him. So that's what they were doing all game yesterday. And then he was having his way with Serge Ibaka too. And so now that they're getting him the ball on that, right in the low post area on that left elbow, so he can work. He doesn't have to keep hoisting these threes. And when he hoisting the threes, he's already hot or he's in rhythm. So he has to touch for it.
Knocking him down.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So now he's hitting them. And so it's making Cleveland look dangerous. It's making Cleveland look a lot dangerous. So do y'all believe? And one thing I also will note that when LeBron James actually plays the point guard role for the Cavaliers, they're 25-3. So do y'all think that maybe it's time that LeBron should take over as full-on point guard? Maybe that he should be the guy that's running the show more. 'Cause I know they're trying to. Kyrie Irving's the point guard, but Kyrie Irving's not really. He's like a 6'3" shooting guard because everything Kyrie Irving does entails scoring. Everything he does, his handle and everything, he can create for himself for days because he has the handle to do so. But he's not really a distributor like LeBron James is. Like we saw, he had 11 assists this game, and he shows that he can get the ball moving everywhere. I mean, that's the best LeBron James when he doesn't catch the ball and the ball sticks. It's when he gets the ball moving and sets his teammates up to make plays. So, do y'all think that maybe the Cavaliers are better with LeBron at the point guard position per se, kind of thing?
No, I don't think they're better. I don't think they'll be better with him at point guard position. I think if LeBron just continue facilitating the ball, yes, but don't make him the strictly point guard. Like LeBron is bringing the ball to the court every possession. No, don't do that.
All right.
Let him continue on the wing. Let him be a possession player.
All right, Khaled.
Let him stay versatile in his position and just keep Kyrie.
You don't think that's part of his versatility though?
That is, that is his versatility.
That's his versatility.
But I'd rather him do it from the wing than top of the key.
Yeah,
because I mean they're 25-3 when he plays point guard. When he plays that point guard role, I mean they only got 3 losses on the season. I mean right now they got what 14. They got 14 losses on the season. So I mean those other losses came when he wasn't playing the facilitating role. So
I mean, the facilitating role? You can play that from the wing still.
No, you can't. I'm just saying. Do you think it's because it shows the record shows that they're better when he is that guy, when he's the one that's making the decisions of how the offense should be.
Oh, that's completely on him though.
Yeah,
that's completely how he goes into the game with the mindset or not.
I don't think it's completely on him because if you're a coach, if y'all go out there and you're giving, because Kyrie normally the one that comes up and calls the play and everything like that, and he'll come and get the ball, but if you're telling me he's the guy that's bringing the ball up, now maybe not every play, but for most of the game, he's that point guard or point forward, whatever you want to call him, then it makes things different because he's the one that's calling the plays, whether he's calling it for himself or for somebody else. He's the one that's calling the plays. So that's different in a way than what he's already doing to me at this point in time. What were you gonna say, Colin?
I forget.
You said I forgot. Brendan hit him with that. What's the name?
I think he was talking. Yeah, but it's gonna come back to me.
It's gonna come back to this man when we're talking about Barry Bonds.
You're gonna be like, oh yeah. This is what I
and you're gonna say something about the Russell Westbrook and the Thunder earlier too.
Oh, me?
Oh yeah, I was talking about that. The whatchamacallit, the dunk. It's like
no.
It was his explosiveness I was trying to go at because like Rashad was saying, like the ball didn't leave his hands after that point, and the fact that they have to rely on Russell Westbrook late and Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant late game for just scoring and stuff is very sad.
This is how I look at those two. This is how I'm actually looking at Durant more because we already knew Westbrook basically had that like Jordan and Kobe type killer instinct mindset thing. You want to put the game in his hands type thing. I'm actually seeing Durant do it a lot more now. I'm seeing Durant he's shooting a lot of reckless shots, but he's starting to get that mindset where this is my team. I need to make sure I can close this game out, but it's hurting the team. Both of them know it's hurting the team. You kind of get what I'm saying?
That's another thing I was gonna mention.
Yeah, you said you were gonna talk about something in the last topic, something about stars, and you never even.
Yeah, I was about to say it. If you put another star right there, it's gonna take away from Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant's like their determination to be the top scorer. I guess.
No, that's you're never one. Westbrook is the best player on his team in his eyes.
Of course,
he's like who's Durant. That's Westbrook's eyes.
Okay, but having another star, it depends on the star.
You're not, but you can't make someone not efficient no more. You can't make Kevin Durant not efficient. Kevin Durant's still gonna shoot his 15 to 17 shots a game and still be efficient.
I'm not gonna say they're not gonna be efficient, but maybe they're gonna be trying. When they get the ball, they're gonna throw it up. Sooner than just passing it or something like that.
Wait, why would they do that if they have another starter there? Why would they just
because
lower their possessions per
because the competitiveness.
So are you saying that with another star, they'd be looking to get their shot when they touch the ball more, kind of thing? Like when they catch the ball because they realize, okay, I haven't got my touches yet. They're gonna start shooting the ball more. So. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe so.
No,
you don't think so?
I don't see it.
It depends on which star it is, though.
Hypothetically speaking, if Anthony Davis went to that team and Enes Kanter was gone, They wouldn't be getting their touches. They'll be getting the ball Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis gets double teamed. You have 2 shooters on the wings now. That's a lot better shooters.
I don't think you double team with Anthony Davis on that team.
You don't think you double team?
He's not going to get double teamed.
He ain't getting double teams.
He's not going to get double teamed.
Yeah, he's not getting double teams if they're
because who's the other big man? Oh yeah, Serge. I mean,
yes, sir. He can shoot too. So
yeah,
you're not getting double teamed if you're on that team. So it's not happening. Everybody can shoot threes. Russell Westbrook's the worst 3-point shooter, but then you kick it out to him.
When he's wide open,
you can dribble down to the mid range and just shoot his favorite shot. So, I mean, if Anthony Davis on that team, I mean, I don't know. I feel like their dynamic is set up just for
those
them. It's for them too. You know what I mean? But we saw how the dynamic was when James Harden was there, and I mean, it worked. It took him to the finals, and James Harden isn't as good as he is now. Back then, but
I don't think Westbrook and Durant was as good as they are now.
No, they weren't. They weren't. But I mean, they were still 2 stars that had to share the ball. You know, what I mean, those guys were still the focal point of the team, and they made it work somehow. I mean, and the thing that people always get me about Russell Westbrook, people talk about Russell Westbrook as if he hasn't always averaged over 6 or 7 assists every year of his career. You know what I mean? Everybody talks about him like, I think I can't.
How many assists did he get?
Yeah, I think
11.
He
11 assists.
I think I was debating with somebody about this over the weekend. Somebody told me Russell Westbrook is one of the most selfish players of the game, and they said because it's all. And that's the thing. This hasn't even been. I haven't seen any video of it. It hasn't been proven. It's just a little rumor that came out that Russell Westbrook went and checked his stats at the stat thing and told them to give him a rebound so he can get a triple double. What? So I didn't know that makes somebody selfish because you want a triple double. I didn't know that playing to facilitate your. I mean, I'm pretty sure I see LeBron James teammates hand him a rebound. They didn't want to touch the rebound because they wanted him to get the triple double. But I didn't know. I think it was Rudy I was debating it with. I think it was Rudy. Yeah, and he was saying that Russell Westbrook is a selfish guy because he thinks that Russell Westbrook's getting these triple doubles just for Russell Westbrook for his own personal gain. And I'm like, I don't believe that. I mean, even if you're getting triple doubles, that doesn't affect your greatness. I mean, he's the best rebounding guard there is in the game. The man averages more rebounds than I think his teammate, than Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant's 6'10", 6'9", and he averages just about as many, not more rebounds than him. So. Do you guys think he's a selfish player? Because I mean, I don't even know how to describe the question. That's how like.
In the aspect of winning a triple double, I don't think that's selfish.
Nah.
I can see that people will think he's selfish by the way he plays, but I just think he wants to win. He's a competitor, so if he feels like he's the best option on his team, even though he has Durant there. Like I told you, Russell Westbrook thinks he's the best player on his team.
Okay, Tyler, what do you think?
And then if you get in a triple double and one of those doubles is an assist, how does that make the man selfish?
And that's the thing I don't get. So why do you think people see it as him? Do you think it's because Kevin Durant is there that
that's if Kevin, like think about it last year when Kevin Durant went out and Westbrook went on that tear.
Loved him.
Everybody Westbrook. Oh my goodness. Exactly. Yeah. As soon as Durant's back, give him the ball, man. Give Durant the ball. Like know your role. Like. But
just shut them in.
Like
I don't get it. I don't think Russell Westbrook's a. I mean, I think if people are going to cite that one situation as his selfish moment because he wanted to make sure he got a triple double recorded. If I got another rebound that could have gave me a triple double, I want
try to get the rebound.
Yeah, I want the rebound too. What do you mean? And the thing is, there's not any footage on this incident. People were rumoring that's what happened, but it was never. Factually, stated that that's what he actually did and what he actually did do. And even if it was what he did, LeBron James has done it. Michael Jordan has done it. And I never heard them two get called selfish. LeBron James has been called the most unselfish player for years. Everybody always talks about how LeBron James is the guy that everybody wants to play with because he gets everybody the ball and everything. Last time I checked, Russell Westbrook averages 10 assists this season. This is the last time I checked. He's second in assists. You know what I mean? And he's up there. The only guy that leads him is Rajon Rondo, and he's tied with John Wall. So the last time and he might actually be above John Wall now since he got 11 this past game, and John Wall had 8 against Miami the other night. So that could actually propel him to actually being above John Wall.
The anger in your voice, man.
No, man, because I hate when a player, because this is the same thing they did to Kobe. I mean, granted, Kobe was a different situation because Kobe was hosting the shots. I'm not going to say Kobe was hosting them, but people got to realize you got to look at situations when Smush Parker and Kwame Brown and Matthews, Slava Badenko are your next best players. Yeah, that's his actual name. And Luke Walton and Lamar Odom are your next best players.
You gotta take it yourself.
You're gonna shoot a lot of shots.
Lamar was aight. Lamar was aight. Those other names you named, though.
Lamar Odom was a good player, but the key word is Lamar Odom can't be your second best player. He can't be your second best player. So when those other guys when Kobe's getting double and triple team, and he looks to his right and he sees Smush Parker over there, and looks to his left and sees Luke Walton over there, and he looks in the post and he sees Kwame Brown. And this is a funny story about Kobe. So I remember a story somebody told me about Kobe that one time in a game, Kobe was running a pick and roll with Kwame Brown. They trapped him, and he passed the ball and it hit Kwame Brown in the face, and Kwame just let it hit him, and he said, "Bruh, why'd you pass me the ball?" And Kobe was like, "What?" And he said, "Why did you pass me the ball?" He's like, "I don't want the ball." Kobe's like, "You're open." And he's like, "No, I don't want it. I don't want the basketball." And Kobe, I can't use the word Kobe said, but to make it colorful.
You already know what Kobe said.
Yeah, he said, "What kind of, is this?" He was blown. That's
I'll be mad.
I can't even fathom if somebody was wide open and told me I don't want it. I would just look at you. And imagine being as competitive as Kobe Bryant is, and he's just like, you're wide open under the basket, and you're telling me you don't want the basketball. It just doesn't add up, man. It just doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense.
But you basketball?
You know what I'm saying? And that's what Kobe is forced to play with. Now, Russell plays with a higher level of talent than that. But I feel like everybody's so quick to deem somebody selfish or so just because either that person might lead a team in shots. Now, Russell Westbrook shouldn't lead the Thunder in shots. I can agree with that. He shouldn't lead the Thunder in shot attempts because Kevin Durant's the better offensive option. He's a better scorer than Russell Westbrook. He's more efficient in everything. But as an overall player, we can make the debate about who's better. Russell Westbrook's a better defender. Russell Westbrook's he's the point guard, so he's going to average more assists.
Can I say something before you're going to finish? That's my fault.
No, go ahead.
This is where I feel why Westbrook takes a lot of shots. I've never seen someone slow down Russell Westbrook from getting in the paint. Never seen it. So if he's already in the paint, he might as well just go up with it. You know what I'm saying?
Just go up.
Once I'm inside that arc, I'm in scoring range. So I understand why you think about it, other than Durant, who else is really taking those shots for them? Who else wants to really take those late game shots for them?
They might go and take the basket like that.
Well, we haven't seen them give people the chance.
So,
Serge Ibaka takes them when he actually gets the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When they actually get the ball, they'll take it. But you know what I'm saying? But go on.
I'm just saying, I don't know. I feel like Westbrook, if you get in the lane that easily, he's just going to shoot the shot. Yeah. He's going to attack the basket and go for the layup, try to get the contact. A lot of times he don't get the contact because he's out of control, but he's getting better at it.
See, and that's now I'm starting to question about who's better matchup for Golden State because the Thunder become so predictable sometimes. But they're so hard to guard because those two are just that great. But Cleveland's starting to look like they could possibly be the better matchup for Golden State now, especially now that they're using Kevin Love the right way. But Kevin Love's defense, if he could actually guard a shadow, you know what? We'd have a conversation. The only problem is Kevin Love can't play defense. So it kind of makes me a little iffy on him. But you know what, guys? We can't talk about Kevin Love and his poor defense forever. You got to move on. He said we can. Because when you talk about number one non-defensive awards, you got Kevin Love, you got James Harden. Yeah, man. Top non-defensive player awards. Them dudes, man.
They got Kobe Bryant now.
Well, you know.
Kobe be like this, like
he be looking at the ball go back.
We just stop. No, sometimes he play tight defense. Man,
the whole
sometimes he play. Yeah,
the whole Laker team. You can look at them and just make a montage of no defense. Like I saw a Kobe. Kobe took a bad shot, but it was a 3-point shot. And legit, I saw what's the dude's name? I can't. It was one of the Bulls players. I can't remember since he's a small forward, but
Cook.
He ran right past D'Angelo Russell was like this, and then chased after him. I was like, D'Angelo Russell, you're supposed to leak out the minute the shot goes up, so the transition can't happen. And then he just runs past D'Angelo Russell and gets the layup. I was like, oh, okay. Oh yeah. Lakers. But yeah, guys, going on to the next topic. 2.98 batting average.
Here's another hit.
762 home runs, 2,935 hits, 1,996 RBI, 514 stolen bases. Played for the Pittsburgh Pirates, San Francisco Giants, and now is currently the Marlins hitting coach. Guys, who am I talking about?
Here's another
The
hit,
great-
Barry Bonds.
Yeah, my man Barry Bonds, who recently, not a surprise, my man's been slided from the Hall of Fame continual amount of times. 4 times he's been passed up for the Hall of Fame nod, and now at this point, people are starting to wonder what is up with this Hall of Fame process. And Barry spoke on that very process when he said, "I don't really have an opinion about it." Bonds said to the reporters, "I know that I'm a Hall of Famer. I don't really need to go into that. I'll leave that to you guys to make that determination. That's not my fraternity. But in my fraternity in Major League Baseball, there's not one player that can sit there and say that I'm not one. There's not a coach that's ever coached me that says I'm not one. Until you guys decide to make that final decision, then that final decision will be made on your terms. But in my heart and soul, and God knows I'm a Hall of Famer." So we pretty much all know that Barry Bonds has been left out of the Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame race because of this whole PED issue, the whole drama with that. So we all know that's the main reason why Barry Bonds has been left out of the Hall of Fame. Yeah, practically the only reason, because the numbers. I mean, his numbers.
Right, he's better than the number 1 pick for the Hall of Fame, which is Ken Griffey.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like this, Barry Bonds is a 14-time All-Star, 7-time NL MVP, 8-time Golden Glove winner, 12 times Silver Slugger Award winner, Hank Aaron Award winner 3 times, batting champion twice, 2-time home run leader, and he was an RBI leader in 1993. And he has a home run derby champion also.
He's like on 11 All-Stars team or something.
He was a 14-time All-Star.
14.
And I mean, his records: 73 home runs in one season. He has 2,558 career walks. 688 of them were intentional. This man would have eclipsed 3,000 hits. This thing about that. He has 2,935, which ranks 32nd all time. And 668 walks were intentional walks of his to keep him from getting hits. Like, that's just crazy. That's honestly crazy. Yeah. And yet he's left out of the Hall. You know what I mean? He's left out of the Hall of Fame because of steroid talk. But there's multiple guys in the Hall of Fame that we can go to that used illegal bats, that that were, everyone talk about character. Also, guys that spat on umpires, that kicked on umpires, that went up into the stands and did stuff to the fans. Guys that cheated in other ways that also use PEDs that are in the Hall of Fame. Yet Barry Bonds has been left out. So it's kind of seeming like a little case of the T.O. syndrome.
I was just thinking about the same thing.
You know what I mean? When T.O. has been left out, and T.O. has numerous receiving numbers that say that he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and yet he was left out on his first time of first year eligibility. So guys, what do you guys think about this Barry Bonds Hall of Fame bid? Do you think he deserves to be in there? Like, he should be in there by now, and it's been long overdue? Rashad, I'll start with you. What do you think?
The era he played in kills him. That's when they were trying to stick down hard on PEDs and steroids. It got him right where they wanted him. He was the model athlete for what you don't want to do. Him and Mark McGwire, which is also isn't in the Hall of Fame. Both PED steroid users, both great home run hitters.
Wasn't Sammy suspected of it?
Sammy Sosa, yeah. Sammy Sosa said of it too. All 3 of those are great home run hitters, great hitters, and they validate that their hitting is because of the PED steroid. But if you think about it, like, PEDs aren't making you like Popeye. You ain't popping no spinach and like.
No. But the crazy
like
thing
this.
is, he had numbers. He had great numbers
before
the PED accusations. That's the crazy thing. But yeah, I'm sorry. I just wanted to.
Yeah. So they think to make it like Popeyes, and you're just gonna like gain like insurpassable amount of strength or something, where it's gonna.
I guess what people the slight with the PEDs is that it helps you maintain your greatness.
For that long.
Yeah, for such a long period of time.
They don't want to see you be great that long.
Yeah, where other players deteriorate under normal circumstances, PEDs will keep you looking like you're 28 years old when you're really supposed to be starting to play like you're 35. But yeah.
But I mean, so even if you look back when he was at 28, the number he put up then were still insane.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what to say about. I mean, I feel like they're gonna continue to slide them out. Him, Mark McGwire, them will continue to slide them out because of they want to make a point like they do not take like substance abuse and like PEDs, steroids. Like they stick down on that. That means everything. Like, yo, we're not gonna have our players doing that. That's why I feel like, especially even when A-Rod gets eligible, he's gonna have the same thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I don't know when Barry Bonds will get in. I honestly think it'll probably take like, I don't even know, a couple. I think it's gonna take like petitions and stuff like that to get him in. And like based it on TO, you don't even know how long TO's gonna be in, because the people who's picking it is I also think it's more so than just stats. It's about kind of like a popularity thing about the people who's voting. If the people who's voting don't like you, you're not gonna make it. People who's voting didn't like TO, even though TO is the first ballot Hall of Famer, didn't make it. People who voted for the MLB Hall of Fame didn't like Barry Bonds, even though he was the first ballot Hall of Famer, didn't make it. It also comes down to people. You have to change those people's mind to show why you gotta not exclude the other stuff, but how great you actually were as a player.
Yeah, I think they overlooking that.
All right, Khalid, what do you think?
Continuing with what I was saying, I think they just overlooked some of the skill that these players have. I know that the PD thing, like you said, it doesn't give you Popeye strength and like the best baseball player skill and stuff like that. It's just weird, because this man should be in the Hall of Fame because of how good he is, and like I think it is definitely a popularity contest. Whoever looks the cleanest during his time in the MLB or in the NFL, I think they definitely they get it over the people who actually do deserve it with their talents. So I don't see him getting in there for a minute either.
Yeah, man, it doesn't make. Cause I feel like after a while, people are going to start questioning the whole process of the Hall of Fame, especially with what happened to T.O. I think at this point now, people are coming with T.O.'s thing. I think T.O.'s left out again next year is going to get really brought into scrutiny how the Hall of Fame process goes. Because T.O. wasn't.
He didn't,
he never used any. Yeah, he didn't use PEDs or anything. It's just a character thing with T.O. But every team T.O. went on, the Cowboys didn't go to the playoffs for years until T.O. got there. Then after T.O. left, it took them years to get to the playoffs again. The Eagles went to the Super Bowl with T.O. Haven't been since. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Bengals, they played great in the season T.O. was there. He played great in the season that he was there. The 49ers played great when T.O. was there. Teams played better when T.O. was there, but all this stuff that's made up of the locker room nonsense that's going on is put over his individual impact on each of those teams. Now, granted, yes, character and stuff factors into it, but it's not like T.O. went to jail or anything. You know what I mean? You got guys in the NFL and MLB Hall of Fame that went to jail, guys that committed crimes. T.O. didn't commit a crime. Barry Bonds, now that's a different story. He was what do they call it? Perjury in court or whatever. But he was cleared of that when the court case was brought against Balco for all the PED allegations and stuff like that. So that when that all went down, you got different guys that have different issues in the Hall of Fame. Nobody in these Hall of Fames is all perfect. They're not all these character squeaky clean guys that that everybody likes for them to be. But then you have all these Hall of Fame players. Have the people. If I took children there today that are huge baseball fans, some of these kids probably wouldn't even know who some of these Hall of Famers are, because some of these guys getting in the Hall of Fame have no business being in there, at least for baseball. You know what I mean? Like you look at some of these guys in there, and you're just sitting there. You're like, well, they don't compare to how the impact Barry Bonds had, and at least in hitting the baseball. And I don't want to just categorize Barry Bonds as as a hitter. I mean, he was great, but when you talk about hitting and stuff, because there's two different eras of baseball. Just like there's two different eras of the NFL and the NBA and stuff, where baseball had the integration of the African American players. So some of the players that are in the Hall of Fame that are characterized as the best hitters and stuff like that were in that integration where they brought in the black players. So you think about stuff like that, and you're just like, well, Barry Bonds has done it with the integration and all these new players and all the mixture and blend of players, and he was still one of the best hitters. And people had to intentionally walk this guy all the time just so he wouldn't get home runs on their teams. Like the numbers speak for itself. I mean, anybody wants to look at Barry Bonds' career, go each year, go look at his career. I mean, you can argue whatever.
PDs, whatever. 71 home runs in one season.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's no joke. Like he has numbers. PDs are not. It's still a skill to hit a baseball. It's not easy to do, and he was able to. he was able to do it. I mean, the man holds 73 home runs in one season as a record. That's unreal. You know what I'm saying? So the Hall of Fame process, I just don't even know. I mean, I would like to be in a room one day when they're doing the Hall of Fame bidding and stuff, like talking about who needs to be in there or not, so I can see how the criteria is, bro. Because nobody can tell me that you're looking on the list and you go down these stats and they're like, oh, well, so and so shouldn't get in because, I mean, you just didn't catch
I feel like Brendan would be in that room, be like, oh, come on.
maybe so, bro. But we gotta go on to the next topic, the final topic, actually, talking about the Golden State Warriors and the weekend they had. It was kind of a roller coaster weekend, up and down. You know, you go from losing the worst game you've lost all season to giving up 51 points to one guy to then coming back and almost losing the game against the Clippers, which you had pretty much secured. Everybody thought was secure with the 16-point lead, about 2 minutes left to go in the game. And then you just barely get out of there for win. So, guys, has Golden State looked vulnerable over this past weekend coming out of the All-Star break? You guys think there's a possible chip in the armor that people can exploit a little bit? Khaled, we'll start with you. What do you think?
I don't know. It's just after this break, they seem more relaxed, I guess. They're not as aggressive, I guess, on getting like that record. They just been, they've been just chilling. And they lost to, who was it?
Portland.
105-37.
137.
And they almost lost to the Clippers if they didn't make that, since they didn't make the buzzer beater. So and they looking kind of shaky. And we said this, I think it was the last show or the show before last, that they're gonna lose to teams that they're gonna lose at times that's just unexpected. And then even completely blow out other teams. But now it's just looking like the Warriors aren't trying as hard, or because like the Clippers, the team overall is not as good as the Warriors. So it was obvious that the Warriors would definitely have that matchup, completely like totally over the Clippers. But then when you only winning by 3 points, it's looking kind of questionable. I think they might be relaxing a little too much.
All right, Rashad, what do you think?
The Clippers. This is every time I walk into your room, Brittany, you're watching the Clippers game, and I've always hear you cheering for the Clippers because you always want a good game. You always get that with the Clippers, like you said. You always get a close game with the Clippers or something coming down to the wire, either the pull away or what.
Yeah.
Now, coming out of the All-Star game, I think that had something to do with them losing like that to Portland. They were still like you said in relaxed mode from the All-Star weekend, because there should be no reason. Well, you can't take away what Damian Lillard did. Damian Lillard just cooked.
51.
He cooked.
Unreal,
but for the whole team to get dubbed like that, and honestly, when you look at it, it wasn't. It was their defense. Their defense was slacking, but they also didn't get as much help from the other players as they normally do. So, as you see when they played the next game with the Clippers, they kind of straightened up a little bit. The bench came in and kind of almost choked the game away. Wilcox took an awful shot to end the game.
It was a terrible shot.
So if who knows if there was a better shot taking, how the game would have ended.
Yeah.
But like Brendan says, the Clippers games are always close. So you can expect that when you see them play. As for this loss early, it kind of slows momentum down a little bit for the Warriors. That loss, because it's a loss you don't expect too early, and you get it as soon as the second half of the season starts. So, as in vulnerability, I still don't see vulnerability, because I mean they fix whatever is broken for that team. It's a quick fix and they get back on track. So I don't know. You just constantly see a bunch of mishaps from the Warriors at times. And that's all it is.
See, that's the weird thing, because I mean, I look at the game, their stats from the Trailblazers game. I guess the one thing you could say that you can beat the Warriors through is turnovers, and they had 20 turnovers against the Portland Trailblazers, and when you look, and they shot 35% from three. So you look at it, and goodness gracious, like I look at their stats, and Portland shot 53% from the field, shot 56% from three. Warriors shot 39%. Yeah, and they got out rebounded by Portland. So you look at those things, and you sit there and think like, man, maybe it was just a bad game against Portland. But then I mean, Damian Lillard goes 9 of 13 from three, and he
only missed 4 threes.
Season career high for him.
I think it might be a career high. You talking about 3-point makes?
Yeah, 3-point makes for Damian
I
Lillard.
think it might be a career high. Yeah, I think his highest was 7 before this point.
Yeah.
I think because when he had a 50-point game last year, actually, I think it might have been 7. But yeah, and he goes 18 of 28 from the field. Like that's just it's crazy. You know what I mean? Steph showed up 31 points. I mean, he's 12 of 23 from the field, but I mean, he showed up and he did what he could do, and they lost. But I mean, then you turn around and look at the win when they beat the Clippers. Steph didn't have a very impressive game against them. I mean, he had 23 points against the Clippers. He was 5 of 15, and which is very uncharacteristic, like from Steph Curry. I mean, even though Klay Thompson came out and had 11 of 22 for 32 points, but against the Clippers, you saw that they cut down the turnovers a lot. They cut it down to 14 turnovers, but they had 32 fast break points against the Clippers, which is what helped them get that lead against the Clippers initially. But then they like Rashad said, the bench choked it away. And I don't know. I feel like the Warriors. It's one of those things that it's a loss. If they would have lost this game, like a game like this in March, I probably would have been like, oh man, no worries. Like they're gonna get the record easily and stuff like that. The loss kind of like makes you halt a little bit, even though it's still the best record through 53 games, 54 games. It kind of slows you up a bit. You're kind of like, oh well,
because it was early.
Yeah, it was an early loss right out the All-Star break. Yeah. But I mean, they're still on pace to break the record. So I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. But
yeah, they only got one loss.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's maybe the first game out the All-Star break, feeling a little sluggish, but we'll see how it goes. But guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today. It's been KBR Sports, the best sports talk show of your 24-hour day, coming to you on WOD Studios, the best in college radio. Follow us on our Twitter page at KBR_sports, where you can see our past or see information about our show, and we'll retweet the link to watch our show live and also information about our show. And then you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you see past shows and past segments. It's going to be KBR Sports, and also subscribe to the WOD Live YouTube channel. And don't forget, this upcoming Thursday, February 25th, the event at Work Release is going down with WODU Studios. So guys, make sure you come out and show your support. That about it, guys? That's about it. Oh yeah, and don't forget, you can listen to us on Spreaker, KBR Sports, and don't forget also with Rabble TV, you can listen to us on there also.
And you can also listen to our podcast on iTunes.
See, I say that for you, Khalid. You see how that works? I served it up for you now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right, y'all. Y'all have a great day.